Welcome back to part 2 of Healing with Sheila Sims. Thank you for joining in, and we're going to continue to talk about, we were up to my personal testimony, what God did for me regarding my healing. A couple of years ago, I wasn't eating a lot of junk food, but I think I was under quite a bit of stress. And like I said, I had 6 children that I love tremendously with all my heart, my best friends. But, in the course of life, you have stresses. Everybody has stresses. And not only had my body undergone stress and under childbirth, but the kids were facing different developmental stages, and they had different emotional and social needs, and so I was trying to stretch with all of this. So as a result, one day I went up to the top of the stairs and I realized I couldn't breathe. And then I noticed that there was like a sagging inside of my chest. Like when you fill up a balloon with water, the balloon will begin to sag. You can make it go up and down, the water weighing it down. Well, I felt that in my chest, some type of stretching. Well, this went on for a number of months. And when I got to the top of the stairs, of course, as I said before, I couldn't breathe. So in the back of my mind, I began to think that I was experiencing the beginning of heart disease. I was a Christian, and I knew that there were Christians who went home to be with the Lord early, and I'm thinking that perhaps maybe I was one of them. And so in my mind, I began to get my life in order. I was prepared to tell my children about my life insurance policy and what my preferences were for my funeral and that type of thing. I was also trying to put together how I was going to tell them and my husband about what was going on. I was afraid to go to the doctor, but I knew I had to go, so I started seeing a cardiologist. But one day I was listening to Christian television on Channel 9 in New York, and Gloria Copeland was on, and she was teaching about healing, and she was teaching the healing school. And she said, don't ask God to heal you, just ask him for a new part. You probably wore out that body part. So just ask God for a new body part. Well, you know what? I've never heard anything that made more sense to me than that. And I'll tell you why. Because I was desperate. Because I needed it. I wanted it. I had to have it. If God was offering me a platter of cookies, no doubt about it, I would have put my hand in and taken one and said thank you. Okay? Now, someone who didn't have a heart problem or wasn't faced with the same concerns that I had, they would probably say, well, I can't believe that. Well, that's okay. What I'm talking about is a person who needs God to heal them, a person who doesn't want to die, a person who's been struggling with getting healed and that thing reoccurring. Well, getting back to Gloria Copeland, when she said, just ask God for a new heart, a new kidney. You need new body parts. You wore them out. I said, well, thank you, Jesus. That was not only medicine, but that was music to my ears. So I decided to ask God. I said, Lord, give me a new heart. Well, bless his holy name. It was within 2 days. I came up the stairs. I didn't feel that heaviness, that sagging, weighing down feeling. I wasn't tired. And before, I couldn't even walk to the corner in the corner of my block, there was a library. I couldn't walk to the library. It just seemed like a very long journey. So now I began to walk to the library, run to the library, and I appreciated my health a whole lot better. So I began to drink water and exercise, and I cut out certain fats and junk foods and so on and so forth. But within about 3 years, that same situation occurred. And Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So what do you think I did? Exactly. I asked him for what? Exactly. A new heart. And he healed me. And when I say he healed me, he gave me a new heart. And it was like the heart of an 18-year-old.